The Saratoga Saturday edition of the Notorious OTB on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. Welcome, everybody, to the Notorious OTB, brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. And folks, as always,
it's all good, baby. It was all a dream.
We used to read Blood Horse magazine. I got my Cuban link and my Dookie rope chain on.
Yes, Cuban B.
And I'm your host, Chase Sessoms, the Wolf of Oaklawn.
I'd rather be trapped than lazy. Don't care what they say, I'ma do what pays me. It happens every year about this time. Weaklings act like they lost their mind. Alphas reclaim the neighborhood. Rob the sheep and all the wolves eat good.
Yes. This is the part where I say, joining me as always. But there's a goddamn conspiracy from StreamYard against Barry specifically. Like, I know he's not just like buying time because he's running late, because he sends me the screenshots. It's like, what the hell, StreamYard? But the good news, he's going to join us later. And he's going to, oh, did I say us? That's right. I am joined by NYRA Bets own Marty's pride and joy. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Kaylie Shapiro. I'm trying to find the perfect sound drop. There it is.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
That's a crazy soundbite. I know you probably wish it was my dad instead of myself, but I'm here and very excited about the card. Come on.
Since your dad is in the process of adopting me, I think like we should, as siblings, we should hash this out because, you know, we got to live together. Opening day for Saratoga. How you feeling?
I'm so excited. I mean, obviously super excited for Farbridge, and she feels pretty on Saturday, but I'm excited about these maiden races. I think that there are some horses that we could see big things from in the future, or certainly pedigree suggests that we should. So pretty exciting. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought this card was really good because it really made you think. It made you creatively problem solve as to like, what can I do to like maximize some ROI? What might be some little bit chalkier opinions, but then it also provided way later in the card some great prices that I think you can jump on. I think the late gets maybe a little bit crazy outside of, well, even the stakes races. Foreshadowing. That's called foreshadowing. It's a literary tool. Let's go ahead. Let's jump into the topic for today. Listen, Kaylie's all energy because it's the first Toga. And in the more immortal words of John Belushi, Toga, because Barry, Kaylie, and I are going to be looking at the Saturday Saratoga card with a $100 budget. That's this Saturday at Saratoga, the 12th of July, year of our Lord, 2025. Post time for this card is going to be 5 p.m. Eastern, 11:35 a.m. God's time, the 9:35 a.m. out on the Pacific Coast. And we're doing one of our $100 budget shows, as is tradition. If you're not aware of the format, we can play any race, any wager type, asterisk, whatever makes that cash money. So we'll dive in, but I mean, break it down. What's the strategy? What were you thinking? What's the overarching thing? Like, put it all into perspective in 15 words.
I kind of just only used my bankroll on the races I had the strongest opinions in, which happened to be the maiden races, and definitely some prices like you were hinting towards the end of the card. Outside of the stakes races, I mean, I'm all in on Farbridge and she feels pretty, but I think I have someone nice I want to put underneath each one. Hopefully that will provide some value. And then Bailout Bet, I mean, I think I found a pretty big price in there if I'm not mistaken. So pretty excited about that. And yeah, that was kind of my strategy going in.
Well, there's no time to waste. Unlike me, who doesn't leave the house for weeks at a time, Kaylee's mover and shaker, and we got to be conscious over time. So let's get after. Remind you that you can listen to every podcast episode from this network for free. Just subscribe to the SGPN feed. Get it wherever you get your podcasts. Kaylie, you're kicking in the door early here, trying to make this card bleed from its chest.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with the double in this race here. I mean, you have a heavy favorite in this race. There's a 9-5, at least morning line favorite, the number 4, Tage, I think. I'd imagine is the way you say it. It's a $1.4 million son of Into Mischief, first-time starter for Steve Asmussen. I'm trying to play against this one. I think that it's going to take a lot of money. People are going to see the price tag, and the works look good, you have to say. But I'm going to try to beat this one. Didn't have any siblings, really, that won on debut. Is the only one that did win on debut was a Brad Cox runner who was like a Juddmonte homebred. So I'm thinking that was a little bit of a different scenario here. This one's obviously coming out of the sale. Who knows? So anyway, I'm going to go with the number 2 in here. Curtain Call. I'm going to single this horse in the double. 5-2 on the morning line. Mark Cassie's on fire at Saratoga. This horse finished second in a maiden race at Churchill last time out. The horse that beat the horse, Obliteration, we just saw came back and absolutely dominated the grade 3 Sanford here at Saratoga, won by over 10 lengths. So, I mean, with the combination of how well these Mark Cassie horses are running and the horse that he finished second to last time out, definitely going to single this one in the first leg and, my double. And then I'm going to use 3 horses in the second race as well. Starting with the number 5. This horse is the half to search results, so that definitely catches your eye. The Dam herself won on debut. Obviously, search results won on debut. The other 2 quality siblings won in their second or their third start. So definitely really precocious pedigree. Flavian Pratt's aboard. A lot to like about this one, and the works look really, really good. So I'm going to use this horse, and I'm going to use the number 6 as well in here. This is a Cherie DeVoe horse. This is a daughter of Into Mischief. The Dam won in her second start. This is the first sibling to race. Judging by the other sibling, this one definitely just looks better on paper. If you just look at the sales history of like the first sibling versus this one, second runner out of a Dam is usually better. So going to use this one as well. The works look really good. And then the one I'm most excited for is the number 7, Asking. This is a Claiborne homebred owned by them, debuting for Bill Mott, who's been on fire at Saratoga and has had a lot of first-time starters win. So definitely, honing in on that. And if you look at this horse's last work, 35-2 bullet work from the gate going into this race, that is fast. This horse breaks to the outside. This one looks pretty dangerous. 6-1 on the morning line certainly catches your eye. So yeah, I did a $5 base on that double and, 15 total. And I'm really excited to see this number 7 debut for sure.
Well, Kaylie, you've got a play also here. Never mind. You gave your play for race 2. I've got a play in race 3, however. But real quick, joining us from the future, the benevolent time traveler, Barry the Sniper Spears, who has come to tell us who's going to win on Saturday. Barry, we're jamming along, so I'm just going to say, what's good? What's up,
What's
man?
good in the hood? Hi, Kaylie. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yes, technical difficulties prevented me from being on time, but I'm here and I got my picks and we're going to win.
Of course.
Well, we're going to dive in for me. I'm waiting. I'm sitting on my hands being patient until race 3, which is the 7 furlong, $100,000 optional claiming on the dirt. I'm playing a $10 ice cold exacta, 7 with the 5. This was, a day at Saratoga where I thought the payouts for win bets might stay relatively small early, barring a few surprises. So I'm getting exotic. I'm trying to be cooler than being cool. And I do mean ice cold. This is one that, could be a lighter exacta payout, but it's a strong opinion. And will let me maximize a 5-2 opinion in the third race by going ice cold and up in that base. I'm playing this ice cold utilizing number 7. Jerry's out for Rudy Rod with Ricky Ricardo Santana in the irons. Then underneath, I'm using the 5, Uncle Jim at 4-1. Ricardo should be able to sit just off, and I mean all off of the withers of the two dueling speeds and take advantage of the track bias that's been in play in these sprint races on the dirt. You have to be close if you want to have a shot, and this one will give itself every chance to be in the mix at the top of the stretch. The underneath horse, like I said, number 5, Uncle Jim. Everyone's got an Uncle Jim. And everyone's Uncle Jim was, dishonorably discharged from the Navy for smoking Thai sticks in Pearl Harbor in the 70s and wore Zubaz pants in the 90s. That's scientific fact. I've seen the data. Uncle Jim is the inside speed of speed and has less of a chance to blink in a line of 3. Unlike the horse, in the middle of the line. I always fade horses that look like they're going to be between because I think they're more than likely to just drop out unless they got some real heart. But the bias makes me think that I might not need to mix up my running styles and that I need to start slamming speed exactas. I always say mix up your running styles in your exotics unless you got a bias. Then go with what it tells you. That's what I'm doing. And unfortunately, another Uncle Jim has dealt an L in life when he finishes second in my exacta. That's Uncle Jim. My Uncle Jim is really an Uncle Bill, but come on, everyone's got an Uncle Jim. All right, guys, real quick, I'm going to get this out before we get into our next play. Don't forget the Circa Million and Circus Survivor contest. You think you know ball? Then you have to enter Circus Football Contest with 21 million in guaranteed prizes. There's no rake, so if entries go above the guarantee, all extra money will go to the prize pool. Circa Million will pick 5 teams against the spread each week or go for the ultimate sweat and Circus Survivor. This is even the Circa Grandissimo, a $1,000 Survivor contest. So look at that. You can survive for six figures. Amazing. You got to register in person at Circus Sportsbook in Nevada. Sign up in Nevada, play from anywhere. With the help of SGPN's official proxy, go to footballcontest.com. Use promo code SGP to get a $50 discount on your proxy fees. And of course, brought to you by the good people at mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, football futures. They offer customers from all over easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using crypto. So the feds can track you. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. If you excuse me, I need to get a brief rehydration interlude.
You want to see me kick some ass? I do fucking karate. You want to fucking
Just to go back, so sorry, to race 2. I already went through, I explained like my, the reason I like those horses like in depth, but I know I had a double that ended there.
Oh,
yeah,
I stepped all over it. That's my bad. Go ahead.
No, just so, but I did put, $20 to win on the number 7, asking in here. I'm just shouting that out because Bill Mott has like genuinely helped pay my rent these last couple of months with the way his horses have been running. And I think if this one goes off at a good price, going to be pretty profitable. And then I also did a straight try, just $5, 756 in there too. Shut up.
There we go. Look at that. We're all cooler than being cool today. We're all ice cold. All right. We've got our second play. My apologies, Kaylie, for skipping over that. Okay. Race 4, 6 furlongs, $20,000 allowance on the dirt. I'm doing another kind of higher base play to try to kind of slam a double here. I've got a $10 daily double, 245 with the 5. And so the idea here is that once again, this looks like a potentially skimpy payout in the win pool in the next few races. So what do? You think horizontally, you stretch into a double, add a higher base. I'm using 3 horses in race 4, but going to single in the following leg. Race 4, we're sprinting on the dirt. So we're going to lean into the early speeds again and rely on one of them to hold. Hopefully, that's the number 2 Gray Wing. I could go through and break down each horse and why they should be in the mix late, but it really sums up to they're fast enough and they catch a moving sidewalk of a track that will move them forward and carry them longer than it should. It's like when you're like sleepy and you get off a plane at the airport and you just kind of lean on the moving sidewalk and just carries you. That's how I see this. But I'm using the 2 Gray Wing, the 4 Sitka, which is a town in Alaska I'm going to visit, no big deal, and the 5 Burning Hunk of Love, not to be confused with the other horse, Burning Hunk of Love. No, Hunk of Burning Love. That's right. Who's a personal favorite. Moving on to race 5, where I round out this daily double. I'm single to a horse I think is going to be sneaky and provide some real value in the double because, the Saucy William or Bill Mottness of it all should be, canceled out by the surface switch. And this is contrarian single a bit. Will cover my day if I get it home with a profit in the 5th, if I'm right. I'm going to single. This is going to be contrarian. Number 5, Resilience, 72 for the previously mentioned Saucy William. It's got some turf pedigree, as well as a race shape that says this might be a cheap way to get a decent price. Resilience is a full sibling, has a full sibling brother that's a graded, graded turf stakes winner named Capitol Hill, who not only won a graded stakes on turf, but in fact won his first ever attempt through the weeds. Do we have a graded stakes winner that might actually hit a new level on the turf? I hope so for me and as well as my boy, Hot Sauce or Saucy Williams or Bill Mott, I guess. Get whatever you want to call him. It's going to be up front on the inner turf, which has been a pretty good trip. So that's my play, the 5 Resilience, and that horse is my single in this daily double.
I'm singing. I want to mingle.
You want to mingle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Capitol Hill just finished second, right? To Classic Q. Yeah, great point.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how that went down. Barry, you get to tap in, man. You've got a daily double here in race 5. What's up? What are we doing?
Yeah, this is an interesting race, like you said. A lot of horses in here that could make some noise, and I think this is a lot more competitive. I think the morning line kind of shakes that out. I also thought that Resilience, the 5 and the 4, it's coming together, probably take all the money. And I also believe that Resilience is probably going to get over bet here. I can't just automatically think that this horse is going to take to the turf. Only because they haven't run this horse on turf. It's not like this horse was meant for the turf and they were like, all right, we're going to put this horse on turf. And so happen to find out that this horse was running on dirt. Winning the Wood Memorial proves that this horse has some talent, but really hasn't done anything. That's really the only race this horse has won other than the Maiden. And I think when you jump into this kind of company on the turf, these horses are pretty good and a little bit battle tested. So I don't think that this is a good spot for Resilience to break his Maiden on the turf, but we'll see. I ended up using the 2 Chad Brown horses, who I believe are well meant in this spot. Activist Investing, the 8, hasn't done anything wrong. Didn't run so well in the Virginia Derby, but that horse was obviously overmatched.
Did we lose Barry? Did we lose Barry briefly? There he is.
He comes back 2 years later, runs a good race. What happened? And I think this horse is just going to get a good trip with Flavian aboard, who's riding lights out so far, and there's only been like 3 races. Retouch, the 9 horse, is another one that hasn't done anything wrong. Ran well back in France and ran in a stake where I think that horse was kind of overmatched. Split the field there. You see this horse end up in April at Tampa, runs a decent race, and it was kind of a setup for this one. I think they were pointing towards a race at Saratoga all along. So we're going to use the 8 and the 9 in race 5.
Just quick point out with the name on the 8, that's Seth Clareman is a busy businessman who only has time for business, and his horses' names will reflect that. And also Peter Brandt dresses like the old guy in Jurassic Park, I think, whenever I see him. Barry, let's forget that nonsense. Let's move to Ray. Look, I just expect him to hold up a cane with a trapped in amber and say things like Dino DNA. Race 6, 5.5 furlongs,
Did I ever tell you about
$100,000.
that? Is that I always question why the DNA has a Southern accent.
That's a good point. We don't, we don't believe in evolution out here, so that does not track. Barry, you close it out. Race 6. What are you doing on the 5.5 furlongs on the? Is this one on the inner? Oh, it's just on the turf. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we're gonna go 3 deep here in this $5 double. I thought this race was up for grabs. We got a lot of first-time starters, a lot of horses just, starting out, and I think, it's ripe for a price. So we're gonna use the 5 Santina, Wesley Ward horse. The Dam won her only start, and it was on the turf. Has a sibling that ran twice, and the second time just missed going longer. But both of those horses showed speed and seemed kind of precocious. Obviously, the Dam won her only start. Wesley Ward gets these horses ready. I don't see any problem with this horse. I like the workouts, particularly the June 13th and the June 28th. He knows what he has here. Whether or not the horse shows up is another story, but I'm willing to give a shot at 8-1. The 8 horse 2 bits scratched out of today's 5 furlong race as an AE and draws into this one. Those last 2 works are really good. I think Amelia Green does well with sprinter types, and this horse fits that bill. Has enough pedigree to where I think this horse can run pretty good on the turf and gets Johnny V. And I'm going to take the 9 Chrysalism, who has a start and also scratched out of that race today for the one on Saturday. Second time out, should run a lot better, has some experience. Gets Manny Franco, who's kind of Motion's go-to rider, at least in New York. And I just think that race could be any kind, and I'm just going to use those 3.
Our boy Ken Rudolph heard you say Manny Franco, and then he got just like a tinge of like.
He shivered. Like.
That's Barry's daily double, starting in race 5, wrapping up in race 6. We keep it rolling, folks. Like we're
known as
jamming
Love. Here. Wow, that horse. That was who that horse ran against. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
Originally, yeah.
I was trying not to say that because I didn't want people to see it.
Well,
they get the price up.
Let's not tell anyone else.
Oh, it's highlighted.
I mean, it's only
purple. There's no going back.
It's the only, the only start this horse has. But
yeah,
people look other ways.
All right, we roll it into race 7. We're going 9 furlongs, $75,000. Optional claimer, non-winners at 2-something. I'm not here to read your fucking conditions. What are we doing here, Kaylie? You've got like a bunch of coupled entries here. Who you think staying in? Who you betting to win?
Yeah, I'm gonna. The only bet I have here, I have a $10 win place, so 20 total on the number 7 Society Man in here. I think that there's a decent amount of speed in this race. Certainly on paper, we'll see after scratches and which one of the coupled entries come out, because I think it's the 2B that has a lot of speed too, but draws to the outside as well, I'm pretty sure. But there's a few other horses that do. So I think that this horse should have a decent pace to run into. First off the bench last time, 87, that's nothing. That horse ran pretty well that day. And Danny Gargan's horses are running pretty well in general. Since Saratoga started, he has a few live runners. I have a feeling this one could be one of them. Definitely a 1 1/8 is this horse's best distance. That 92 that the horse got at the end of last year at Keeneland certainly fits with the field, and even just a little bit of improvement off that 87 could fit. Your heavy favorite in here, I think, ran like a 101, but that's that horse's only figure that's anywhere near there. The rest are high 80s. And that horse is, that's like just a standalone figure I'm not willing to trust. I'm protecting myself a little bit by doing a win place, but I think Society Man could be pretty live on Saturday.
Well, she's got her money on Society Man. Let's talk to our very own Society Man. who's got a win bet here in race 7. Burry, what you doing?
I thought it was a classic man like Jadena.
Yeah. You were ashy. Now that you've progressed to classy. No big deal.
Yeah, I gotta play classic man for you. So I don't know. Kaylie might.
I know classic
one,
man.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm a classic man. That was
there you go.
Too.
There you go.
Yeah, don't test my encyclopedic knowledge.
My bad.
Yeah,
my
it's
fault,
cool. It's cool.
fault.
No, listen. When sometimes the gang is going to set trip. That's all I'm going to say. Barry, what are you doing?
I'm going with number 9, Bramito, who coincidentally beat Society Man last time out. This horse is really interesting. And Aqueduct was claimed by Gustavo Rodriguez, and they stepped this horse way up into a 75 non-winners of 2 from basically a start allowance 25, and 1 going away. Handled that field pretty easily at 7-1. Kind of gets the same setup as they did last time, getting the same rider. Everything, kind of falls into line. There's enough speed, like Katie was talking about, for an opportunity for a horse to come off the pace. I just think Bramito, the way they rode this horse last time, it's going to be a little bit closer up and get the jump on the others. And if this horse can do that again, it might be another Bramito's Society Man exacta. But I just like this horse on the way up. Like Saratoga, he's 2 for 3 at Saratoga, 1 for 1 at the distance. Let's go. Bramito 5-1 to the hoop.
I say play the Bramito Society Man box exacta just for
no boxing.
No boxing. Well, there's a time and place for everything, and that's college. And also
what I do that, right? What I do in these kind of situations, instead of boxing, is what I'll do is I'll play instead of the $20 to win, pay 10 to win, and then an exacta with Society Man over as your place bet over Bramito. See what I'm saying? So that way, if you lose or your horse doesn't finish on top, you still grab something. Sometimes I'll do that and I'll split it and put like the favorite and another horse over mine as a place bet.
Okay.
So that way you get more money, in the middle if your horse finished second. But I mean, it's a little riskier because you're trying to predict who's going to win. But, in a lot of situations, especially the way I play, favorites beat me and my horse is second at big odds. So that's a little betting thing for you.
There we go. Well, Barry, we're rolling it along. We're just chugging. It's like a well-oiled machine. We're moving like a beautiful machine through this card. We move to race 8, where I've got my next play. 11 furlongs. The Bowling Green Stakes, a grade 2 on the turf. I'm going to be playing a $10 win on number 4, and then a $2 trifecta, 4 with 157 with 157. It took 8 races, but oh baby, Papa's got a horse that makes him want to dabble in the win pool, as well as check out the trifecta Lazy River. Why is the trifecta Lazy River? Well, I guess I figure every water park has one, and I wanted to make a water joke because of the talk of pools, and that also opens the door for like a potential Carl Spackler, like Baby Ruth pool joke, but only if it happens organically. That's the only way I'm going to get into it. Anywho, I'm playing the $10 win bet on the number 4. Tucson at 15-1. Todd Pletcher, Luis Saez. This one has to be on the front. It will be on the front. To get the front, it will need to get into a drive early from the gate. Good news on that front in the form of Luis Saez. Saez up for Pletcher, who I just now decided I'm dubbing Rugged Anderson Cooper. Tucson was really heavily worked heading into the last race in June. I think he might have a horse that needed a little rest from the once-a-week drills that started in May 8th and ended on the 22nd of May. My birthday, no big deal. I say that because the last work on July 5th makes it look like the horse benefited from the rest and is in good order despite how the Manhattan finished. I've got 15-1, so if I'm going to be right, I'm going to be as right as in many ways as possible. And Daddy's making the beast with 3 backs, the trifecta. I'm Daddy, by the way, in this scenario, if anyone was curious. Instead of wheeling and doing cutesy shit, let's key Tucson in first and then box the same 3 horses into second place and third place in the try. I'm including the horses that if it weren't for the pace scenario, I'd be interested in that should be moving very much swiftly late. I'm going to use the 1 starting over. If this goes 4 over 1, I'll be so happy. I'm going to use the 5 web slinger at 7-2. And also, you can't count out the voodoo lady from New Orleans, Cherie DeVoe. Never mind. That's a race later. We're talking Farbridge for Miguel Clement at 6-5. So it's going to be 4 over the 1, 5, 7. That's it for me. Race 8. But we're not done with race 8 because Kaylie, she's cooler than being cool again. She's ice cold. What are you doing?
Yeah, the 4 I thought was pretty interesting that you were talking about. Maybe it was switching off Lasix for the first time. The horse got tired. Maybe second time off Lasix. The horse improves. That one did scare me a little bit, but I mean, it's hard to go against Farbridge. Farbridge is a horse that just always shows up. That horse is just dominant compared to the rest. I mean, you look at the horse's figures, the horse really never runs a bad race. So, I mean, I think this horse is going to win for fun. I think that, the horse may be good turf last time, a little bit too short, maybe a little bit too short for the horse that day. So I definitely think stretching back out, I'm rolling with this horse on top. Obviously going to be a heavy favorite. So I'm going to bet straight exacta with Farbridge over the number 5 web slinger, who you mentioned, 7-2, nothing too crazy, but this horse is another one that's really nothing but consistent. You look, comes off the bench last time out. Clearly the race was just too short for the horse. They're just bringing him back there. And then prior, ran well, races at this distance. So, the horse can get the distance. Mark Cassie's on fire. Definitely think that this one's going to be coming late. Not going to be too far out of it, though, that it's a concern. So I definitely want to put this one right underneath Farbridge. I did $10 straight exacta there.
There we go. We're going ice cold again. Barry, you've got a daily double here, race 8 and race 9. Real quick, though, going to get a word in for our good friends at Underdog, because Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog, also a great place to play pick'em. Just throwing that out. So sign up with promo code SGPN to claim your special pick, plus first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. And we're brought to you by the good nerds at Rhythm. Listen, you've heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Trends, essentially the best of what their house model has to offer. Their AI is detecting patterns, and they're detecting patterns with a high ROI. Power Trends updated daily, exclusive Rhythm, no touts, no noise, just clean, data-backed bets. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Get your 7-day free trial, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. I got to get a quick rehydration interlude in. Barry, we've got to rectify it wrong because we have to do this at least every episode.
Hey, don't rub on that. You block that. You understand? That's alpaca. That's $25,000 alpaca. You block that shit. Right. You don't rubble. Put the club soda on there.
Barry, you're putting club soda in race 8, and see, it's going to
now
spill
I feel
into race
obligated. 9. I feel obligated when I go to the track to drink club soda now.
A little lime twist, little zest. Okay.
I can make pretend it's something in there, but I'm not really a drinker. I will drink. If you see me drinking, you'll know because I will be laughing for no reason. I'm not a drinker. I can tell you that right now. But yes, I do have a double starting in race number 8. It's funny because I think all three of us have way different views of this race, which is a good thing, I guess. I mean, I guess if we're not playing chalk, then yes. But I thought Farbridge in this race is in a terrible position, kind of a rock and a hard place, because this horse really doesn't want the lead. And I think the pace might heat up if Tucson shows up. Tucson got thumped by kind of the same crowd last time in the Manhattan. It could have been the give in the turf, I don't know, but this horse really didn't show up at all. It was kind of atrocious. And if you look back, this horse really doesn't or hasn't really faced this kind of company. I'm not really sure this horse wants to lead either. I do think that Tucson, that Corruption, the 8 horse, wants to lead. Bar none. Almost beat Farbridge heads up back at Gulfstream in the Pan American back in March. There's a situation where Corruption is lone speed. So I'm going to try to capitalize on that and use that horse. And then I'm also going to use Razin, the other Pletcher horse. I think this might set up if those two can battle up front. You know, if Tucson and Corruption kind of go at it, it kind of leaves a really nice spot for a horse like Razin, who's on the rise. I think this horse ran really well in the Jockey Club Derby Invitational against Carson's Run, who at that time was razor sharp, deterministic. It's a nice horse. This horse was 3rd, first time in Graded Stakes company. Comes back off of that in April, runs a bang-up race behind Hershey. It looks like this was the goal all along. And so we're going to use the 2 and the 8 to get this double started.
You're going to roll it into race 9. It's 9.
Show is.
It's on the turf. It's $110,000. It's a non-winner won something, and it is an allowance race. And it's look, this is, you had to sit down. You couldn't just hang out the window for the 30 minutes. Now this is where you like start moseying to the window to collect your money.
Nah, we already hit like the 5th race. We already hit that double. So we got money in our pocket. So we're gonna kind of double up on this one.
You're right. You're right though.
The close out, we're gonna use Billy Mott's number 3 Taraj, who has done nothing wrong. I mean, this horse has run well every time. You know, I think this is where Bill Mott does his best work with horses like this coming off long layoffs, ready to go. Lasix first time North America. I mean, everything lines up. He's getting go-to guy in Alvarado. This horse is well met. Trust me in this spot. Getting Lasix, I mean, everything is good. So we're going to use Taraj. I mean, if we get 4-1, I'll be very, very happy. And we're going to use the 5 Gilded Kraken, possible lone speed in here. I know it's IRAD on the lead, which I totally do not like, but he's capable. He's not awful. For a guy that wins as many races, he's not as good as you would think, but he can get the job done. 12-1, I'm all for it. So we're going to use the 3 and the 5 to close out my $5 double.
Whew. I like it. We're going to move to the I'm going to say the most funnerest stakes name out there in race 11. Kaylie unfortunately has a time concern, so we're going to let her lead off race 11. We're going 9 furlongs. It's going to be $500,000 in the purse. It is the grade 1 Dunkin Diana.
I love Dunkin, guy. What are you talking about?
Such a cool sponsorship, first of all. But yeah, definitely. I think
free lattes or what? I mean,
yeah, Dunkin Diana, pretty cool.
No, but I'm talking about latte. I want a latte. I want a salted caramel latte.
I want a coffee.
It's time to cash in on the fame. Get yourself an iced coffee
talk.
at least.
It's coffee talk.
Don't let us catch you outside of Dunkin, kid. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Sorry, Kaylie.
Definitely. I think she feels pretty can make it 5 in a row. Definitely banking on that here. This horse is another one that's just so cool. You would think that I think she's one of those horses that when she starts winning like this, she's just not going to stop. Cherie DeVoe obviously has this one in great condition. She's a top trainer. Definitely. I mean, I'm using her in a straight exacta on top. I think that, you know, there's really no concern with how hard she's necessarily been running those 4 races in a row. I don't think that they took it out of her at all. If you look at it after she won the grade 1 New York last time out, I mean, she put in 2 bullet works after that. This horse just has not missed a beat whatsoever. She's such a cool horse. But anyway, I'm going to use her on top over Be Your Best, the number 6, for Safi Joseph. I mean, if I wasn't looking at Safi Joseph's win percentage just at Saratoga and like graded stakes, maybe I would be trying to beat She Feels Pretty in here with a horse like the 6 Beer Best. This horse has great speed. I think high possibility this horse can get a little bit loose. Even if she is taking pressure, I don't think that she's going to have any problem. She can come from off the pace as well. And I think that, you know, this one could be a little bit dangerous and a little bit of a threat to She Feels Pretty, but I don't think she can beat her. So I'm going to put them in a straight exacta, 1-6, $20 total there.
I love it. I love for lack of a better term, just the balls of all these ice cold plays.
She got long ass balls, Larry. Long ball, Larry.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love skinny plays, and I love just slamming your good opinions like Kaylie's doing here. Kaylie, I know you've got a meeting that you've got to jump to, so we're gonna let you bid us. Yeah, we're gonna let you bid us to do. I want to leave you with the message that we love you as much as Marty. It's not. You know, this is a Marty contingent. It was always about you. So we're glad you're here. Have a good weekend at Saratoga for opening weekend. And don't let Matthew DeSantis bully you.
Yeah, don't do that. Tell him if he bullies you, tell him I'm gonna be there Wednesday and next Saturday. So
Oh, you are?
Yep.
Then I'll see you there.
Yes,
and
indeed.
Chase, have fun in Alaska.
Yeah.
If I don't talk, I mean, I think you're going soon, if I'm not wrong. But
last week of this month, so I'm like 16 days away. Yeah, looking forward to
it. He's gonna be like the Revenant. This guy over in Alaska, hiding in the bears, like cutting the middle out of a bear to sleep.
Listen, you drop me in the middle of Alaska, I'm coming out in a bearskin coat and I'm making all them animals dance. All right, Kaylie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will catch you sometime soon. We love you. Talk to you later.
Love.
Ooh, I just cut her off.
I cut her off. I tell her she's equal to Marty, and then I just shut her down. My God, I'm the worst.
Well, she's not gonna like what I'm gonna say about our horse, but that's all right.
Well, maybe. Barry, if you can wait for just a moment, I've got 2 plays here, and oh boy, it's a $10 win on number 2, and then a 50-cent trifecta, 246 with 246 with 1. Have you guys ever seen a baby dressed as a sunflower sitting in a pot? Have you ever said, when you saw a baby chick? How do you feel about corgis and their fuzzy butts? If you like those and you like cute things, boy howdy, for you cute fans, I have what is somehow a pornographic level of cute. Like it's safe for work and explicit. I don't know how it works, but I'm win betting the number 2 choice. I guess Choi's. I don't know. For Simon Crisford. It's making its 3rd start in the United States. It will get what I assume will be a firm turf track since arriving in the States for the first time, and look back at the past performances and see a horse that likes firmer going, as performances in Europe indicate. He also likes turning left because, you know, England and Ireland tracks, well, they be crazy. Some of them have like loops to loops and shit. I think. I don't know. I don't pay that close of attention. He's not an ambi-turner. That's what I'm getting to. He's not an ambi-turner, but he's good at going left. He's going to be up on the front, on the hedge, and early speed on the hedge is my jam. Like I like to say, is my favorite banking holiday. Plus, the early speed from Safi's horse quits without the lead, and Choice should have the jump on him. Now, here's the cute part. What? I'm going to play a try. What? What are you saying?
No, we'll talk about it.
Okay. Oh, this is like when you know you're getting in trouble when you come home from school. I'm using Choice with 2 more horses, both first and second in my trifecta. I'm going to use the 4 Excellent Truth, 5-2. It should get a pretty similar trip to She Feels Pretty. And I would give this one a fighting chance sitting in the garden spot behind the speed and behind She Feels Pretty. But I'm using it, using it as just like a safety so I can put this other horse in a third. I'm using the 6, Be Your Best, at 6-1 for Safi. This is the other speed horse. It includes, because of, when tracks get a little bit drier, this horse does pretty well. And once again, we might get a drier track that carries the horse a little bit further. But I think that the horse fades, finishes the minors. It's no worse than second. look like a real asshole if this horse finishes third
First?
and She Feels Pretty misses. Yeah. No, finishes third because I've got She Feels Pretty keyed in third. See, 246, 246. If this thing goes 246, I'm gonna jump off of a fucking bridge, Barry. You know, it's the game we play.
Yeah, it is. That's okay because the 6 is gonna win. Just saying.
Oh. Barry. That's your win bet? What do we do? Tell me why. Tell me why.
I'm gonna tell you why. Trust me. I keep. This is one of the horses that I keep a real close eye on, because I cashed a big bet on this horse at the Pegasus that day at 7-1. Came out of that race and was overmatched in Jenny Wiley. Plus, it was a little bit too short. I don't think that horse really. They really weren't trying. If that makes any sense. Then they ship this horse out for the Gamely and wins impressively. Gets to this spot where there is absolutely zero speed other than him or her. I know She Feels Pretty is ultra tough, but if you go through her past performances, she really hasn't been beating all this sort of company. This is definitely a class test for her, despite her 4-race winning streak. So she's proven she could get the 1 AA types. These are more 1A horses. But I think Be Your Best, especially in this short field, has a huge advantage as being the lone speed here. She's been running really, really good for a while. Gets IRAD, who, again, I don't love on the lead, but he's capable. He did it out there in California. He tried it out there 2 years ago in the American Oaks and almost pulled it off with the same horse. This horse seems to like Saratoga, has 2 wins there. I just think everything lines up for Be Your Best to run a hell of a race with nobody pushing her. I don't think any of these horses really want to go fast or at least get on top. They all need a target, including She Feels Pretty, which opens it up for my horse. So $15 win bet on number 6, Be Your Best. Let's go.
We the best is what I'm going to say to that, Barry. Guys, it's happened. We've blown through this card, but don't worry. We still got one last race. And we've also saved our tenderest, juiciest morsels for this last race. So you can leave with just a little bit or a whole lot of profit in your pocket. That's right. It's time for bailout bets. And oh, there it is.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Well, Barry, I'm going to tell you what I'm leaving with. I'm leaving with the last 25% of my bankroll, which if you know percentages, 25% of 100, 25, a little trick. Yeah, who would have thought? 5.5 furlongs, $100,000. Wait. On the turf, on the outside, we are playing a $25 win on the number 9 gel horn for Danny Gargan. There were some things. There weren't necessarily a whole bunch of things down card or slammable things really in the stakes. But I think you can get wild with the crazy shit happens in the finale angle. And my final 25 of my 100, and coincidentally, my bailout bet is a horse I really liked last out. In fact, it got my money last out. Then we got rained off the turf. This horse still ran well. Plus, Gellhorn does that thing I love. It answers the question of what's different today. With Gargan adding the blinks, and hopefully Katie Davis can keep this one out of trouble this time after being bumped around a little bit in the first race. 6-1 to the hoop, then go to the window and hang out until, well, I don't know how I'm going to let Bun B say it. This is how long you should hang out.
No regular payment.
That's right. Barry, how are you closing out with your bailout in race 12?
So this race, this maiden race is kind of interesting. Again, these races usually are because you get some horses that have run and you get some that really haven't. I'm going to go with number 7, Fast Market. this horse ran really good in the debut at Gulfstream back in February. Going longer, kind of stayed on and missed a little bit. You know, that was a good first time on the turf. Then they put this horse in the Appalachian in Keeneland, which is a grade 2 as a maiden. Doesn't run poorly. Got beat by Nitrogen, but was loose on the lead at one point. Comes back off that layoff from April 8th to June 15th. Rains off. Doesn't do anything that day. I think the form is muddied up enough to where this horse is going to run well here. And the reason I think that is because this horse has some experience and probably doesn't need the lead. I think a lot of these horses might be a little green and, you know, they like to go fast. They don't really know how to run yet. Fast Market might be the one a little bit ahead of the curve. I usually don't like to bet horses who have, you know, more than a few starts in these kind of races, but I think this situation is a little different because of how they handled the horse. And all the speed that I think that's in this race. So I think this horse will sit a good trip, come running late for all the money with Joel Rosario, 10-1, probably get a little higher than that. So let's go.
There we go. So question for you regarding the Appalachian start. How much do you think it was confidence, and how much do you think it was like racing off as cannon fodder to fill out the field?
Terra Nova really doesn't run many horses down there. So I think it was calculated. I think they were trying it to see what this horse could do on the turf. It possibly could have been the owner too, you know, at Keeneland that day. And like, I want to see my horse run. There's a little bit of that, but the horse didn't run bad, considering he's 80-1.
Considering he's that big price.
We've got
she.
$15 to win too on that horse to bail out.
Oh, that's a Time Lord amount. I love it. Hitting it with
yes,
Time Lord.
Do good with the 15s.
Kaylie had her bailout bet as well. It was the number 10 Panache 8-1, Cherie DeVoe, Jose. And I guess all I gotta say about this is because Kaylie said so. I'm not gonna pretend to know her reasoning for things.
I could tell you probably this horse has been running good company. You know, Love Severe is a pretty good horse. Eclatant beat this horse first time out. Pretty much all the races have been pretty decent, but I just don't like the post position. This horse is out wide. Not really sure what kind of trip they're gonna get.
Not only to beat Eclatant, there's a big name right there, Lucara.
Yeah, that race was crazy. If you go back and look at the chart, good horses in there.
It is. Sometimes things be crazy. Barry, that's it, man. I appreciate you working through the StreamYard issues to make sure you got in today.
The other computer just kicked on, by the way, just so you know that.
That's what I'm talking about right there. That's my sort of timing. Is like, where were we supposed to be?
At the end.
Oh, that's right. Barry, how do you feel about wrapping up picks?
I think we have to because it's very confusing.
Is mandatory. I'm going to start off with Kaylie's play for Saratoga this Saturday with a $100 budget. We start off with race 1, $5 daily double, 2 with the 5, 6, 7 in race 2. And race 2, we're going to play a $20 win on number 7 and a $5 ice cold try, 7 with the 5, 6. Race 7, we're going with the $10 win place on number 7. Race 8, we're going ice cold again with a $10 exacta, 7 with the 5. Race 11, we're going big boy pants exacta, $20, 1 with the 6. Race 12, she's closing out the $5 win place on the 10. She's closing it with panache in more than one way. Look at what I did.
Look at that.
I'm so fucking good at words, guys.
Fuego.
You listen. That's why you listen. All right, Barry.
Yes. So we're starting race 5 with a $5 daily double. The 8-9 with the 5-8-9 in race 6. Race 7, $20 to win on number 9, Bramito. Race 8, $5 daily double. Number 2, El Razin, and number 8, Corruption. With number 3, Taraj, and the 5, Gilded Kraken in race 9. Race 11, $15 to win on number 6, Be Your Best to the hoop. And the bailout last play, $15 to win on number 7, Fast Market. I would have normally did a double, but I assume that was assumed by the plays because of the constraints of the budget. I'm definitely playing that double, by the way. I didn't want to go over budget.
People out there are always free to just make horse wager jazz with the things that we put out there. You know, you want to pull a little Spanish influence, a little New York, whatever, man. We'll play those notes. You can play those notes together.
You like that? You like that trumpet, the fake trumpet I just did. You like that?
Listen, all right, we're gonna have a mouth trumpet competition after this is over because your boy got some skills, guys. These are my plays for Saturday. Oh no, I have the deep soulful tones of the sax, not the little piddly voice of the flute. Saturday at Saratoga, $100 budget bets for me. Race 3, $10 exacta, ice cold, 7 with the 5. Race 4, $10 daily double, the 2-4-5 with the 5, singled in race 5. Race 8, we've got a $10 win and on number 4 and a $2 trifecta, 4 with the 157 with the 157. And race 11, I get so cute, you just want to gobble me up. $10 win on number 2 and a 50-cent try, 2-4-6 with 2-4-6 with 1. And then in race 12, we're going YOLO, $25 win. Number 9, gel horn, which sounds like a brand of like a Skechers shoe. I think the gel horn. You know, Howie Long's gonna tell me all football season about how comfortable he is in the gel horns.
It's like the Crocs. It's a Croc. It's one of those Crocs.
It's the future Croc. You know what? So you remember when Kanye like initially got canceled? One of my favorite stories about that.
First time.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts of that was that after Adidas dropped him, he unscheduled rolled into the Skechers corporate office. It was like,
hook me up with a deal.
Yeah, you want these Skechers Yeezys? And they were like, please leave. You need to go. And he was escorted out of the Skechers corporate.
So he didn't get the slip-ons then. That's what you're saying.
Nope. Or the wide air sole or anything like that. None of that stuff that helps your old ass feet. Barry, man, what you got going on for the rest of the day now that you got a working computer?
Nothing now. Gosh. A little on patrol, maybe. Watch some of that.
Nice.
Probably live in person. Just look out my window. See.
All right. Well, guys, that's it for us here at the Notorious OTB. Don't you worry. We got one more day. We're changing it up a little bit. There's an optional where you can put it on your mama, but we're doing best bets for the Friday card at Saratoga. And we've got the bully himself.
We're putting it on Moms. I am.
Okay, I'll put it on this sweet lady. I'll put it on this sweet lady. Okay. 9 a.m., 8 God's time. Matthew DeSantis, he's joining us. We're going to talk best bets for the Friday Saratoga card. We'll see you then. I got to find something I haven't used in a while. I feel like I'm in a rut a little bit with these sound drops. What are we going to do? Boom.
Little pig boy comes from the dirt.